Sally Field is more than just a Hollywood legend. She's a living testament to an era when acting demanded true sacrifice. Her unforgettable roles, from Norma Ray's quiet strength to the wisdom of Forrest Gump's mother, made her a symbol of heart and resilience. For over 60 years, Sally's presence has inspired generations, not just as an actress, but as a strong mother and fearless activist. But behind the applause, her life was marked by pain and perseverance, turning suffering into art, and dignity that never bowed. Her story didn't start with glamour. Born in 1946, Sally grew up in a home shadowed by neglect. Her parents divorced when she was 4. Her mother remarried a charming stuntman, but behind closed doors, Sally's trust was deeply wounded. In her memoir, she shared how her stepfather crossed boundaries that left invisible scars. Worse, her mother did nothing, leaving Sally feeling invisible and unheard, a child screaming inside, surrounded by silence. Acting became her escape. It wasn't ambition, it was survival. On film sets, she saw characters express truths she never could at home. Drama classes at school offered relief from her hidden pain. Acting let her become someone unafraid. It was more than practice. It was a lifeline. When a talent scout spotted her in high school, it was a glimmer of hope she so badly needed. But heartache continued. At 17, when she faced an unplanned pregnancy, she was sent away in secrecy. No comfort or care, only a new wound that left her even more alone. Her voice, once drowned by silence, became her fuel. She vowed to fight for women's rights, determined that no other girl should suffer in isolation as she had. Sally refused to let pain define her. With raw talent and relentless will, she entered Hollywood, where dreams are made and broken. At 18, she became the Sunny Gidget, winning fans but getting labeled as shallow. It paid the bills, but left her hungering for more. Her next big role, The Flying Nun, made her a household name and America's sweetheart, but locked her in a box she grew to hate. Beneath the bright surface, she was aching for roles that matched her depth, roles that could finally set her free. Each time people admired Sally's charm, it felt like her depth was invisible. So, at the peak of her TV fame, she did the unthinkable. She walked away. For almost 3 years, Sally rejected every sitcom role, choosing silence over more shallow parts. From 1968 to 1971, she vanished from screens, diving into the intense discipline of method acting at Lee Strasberg's studio. It was exhausting, filled with self-doubt, but she emerged stronger, fueling her craft with unspoken grief. Many in Hollywood wrote her off as a lost starlet. Sally later admitted she almost quit acting rather than keep pretending to be someone she wasn't. Everything changed in 1976 with Sybil, a psychological drama where Sally played 13 different personalities, channeling deep pain and empathy. The performance stunned critics, earned her an Emmy, and proved real acting comes from authentic scars, not from charm. Her path was never straight or easy. Between 1973 and 1976, Sally endured depression and self-doubt, turning down hollow roles as Hollywood typecast her into sweet stereotypes. She felt invisible and considered quitting altogether. But within that darkness, Sally found resolve. She wouldn't let others define her story. Her turning point was Norma Ray in 1979, as a determined textile worker fighting injustice. The film was a rallying cry, and Sally's portrayal blended grit with vulnerability. That year, she stood on the Academy Awards stage, finally recognized for her talent. Her iconic acceptance, "You like me. Right now, you like me," became a cultural moment after years of battling to be seen. Her momentum continued. 5 years later, Sally won her second Oscar for Places in the Heart, with another powerful role. She kept proving her range: heartbreak in Steel Magnolias, humor in Mrs. Doubtfire, and tenderness in Forrest Gump. Yet every success brought new challenges, especially as Hollywood hesitated to cast older women in complex roles. Sally infused every character with warmth and quiet strength, defying stereotypes each time. In 2012, at 66, she surprised audiences again as Mary Todd Lincoln in Spielberg's Lincoln, showing her talent only deepens with age. To play Mary Todd Lincoln, Sally Field dug deep, gaining weight, immersing herself in research, and capturing the emotional complexity of a misunderstood woman. That dedication led to another Oscar nomination, but behind the recognition was a heavy emotional and physical toll. Sally proved again that artistry powered by truth doesn't fade. Her journey through love was filled with challenges. For Sally, love wasn't a Hollywood fantasy. It was marked by longing, disappointment, and lessons learned the hard way. Her leaving Sally to face her greatest triumph alone. She stayed, hoping love would heal, but eventually learned it couldn't fix what he refused to confront in himself. Their painful, final split wasn't just leaving a partner. It was Sally choosing herself at last. Years of silence followed. Near the end of Bert's life, he called Sally, finally admitting she was the love of his life. But by then, she had let go. Sally mourned more than a lost romance. She mourned decades shadowed by heartbreak and missed chances. Her story is a quiet thunder, a reminder that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is walk away for your own survival. In 1984, Sally took another leap, marrying producer Alan Greisman, a partnership that brought a sense of calm she'd searched for in a life marked by storms. Her first marriage to high school sweetheart Stephen Craig began with hope and the dream of a peaceful family life. Their 2 sons brought her joy, but as years passed, emotional distance grew. Sally later confessed she felt invisible, pouring herself into family while losing sight of her own needs. The marriage ended in quiet grief. Not drama, but the harsh realization that even in a loving home, loneliness can thrive. Then came Burt Reynolds, a relationship full of passion and pain. Their romance sparked instantly, captivating the public with glamour. But behind the scenes, Burt's insecurities led to control and jealousy, dimming Sally's light and confidence. When offered the Norma Ray role, Burt dismissed her talent, an echo that haunted her even while holding her Oscar. He refused to attend the Oscars with... In the early years of Sally's marriage to Alan Greisman, life felt grounded, a peaceful harbor after so many storms. Their son Sam arrived, bringing joy and connection. Years later, when Sam came out as gay, it only deepened their bond and fueled Sally's advocacy for LGBTQ+ rights. For a while, she felt she'd found quiet waters. But as time passed, unmet needs and quiet dissatisfaction grew. By age 48, Sally chose self-preservation over staying for appearances, gently closing another chapter. She joked about her luck with love, but beneath the humor was a woman who'd stopped losing herself in relationships. In her late 70s, she's found a richness in family and simple joys that romance never offered. Days filled with laughter, writing, and peace. Her romantic journey wasn't tragic, it was transformative. Every heartbreak taught her worth. Every goodbye made her stronger. In the end, she found the most radical love, the kind you claim for yourself, knowing you are enough. Just when she thought the storms were over, life delivered one final shock. In autumn 1988, Sally survived a harrowing plane crash in Aspen with her family. The seconds of terror felt endless: engine failure, impact, smoke, and chaos. Miraculously, all walked away with minor injuries, but the trauma lingered, replaying in her memory for months. Publicly, she avoided fanfare. Privately, the experience changed her, sharpening gratitude and perspective. After surviving what could have been a final chapter, every moment became sacred. Hollywood's chase, failed love, and old doubts shrank compared to the gift of life. Sally leaned into what mattered most: her sons, her garden, gentle evenings with old films. She let go of the need for approval, choosing small joys over applause. The crash didn't leave scars, but it carved deep wisdom. For someone who endured neglect, broken love, and being underestimated, this was just one more trial she faced and overcame. Like every challenge before, Sally Field emerged from trauma not untouched, but unbroken. The near-fatal plane crash of 1988 wasn't her last chapter. It was a breathtaking pause that inspired her to live every day with more gratitude, courage, and heart. Now in her late 70s, Sally enjoys a quiet life in Pacific Palisades, cherishing family and simplicity over Hollywood's glare. Her home is a sanctuary, filled not with trophies, but with memories, a place where she finally embraces the peace she once thought unreachable. Sally's daily life is grounded: a plant-based diet, yoga, mindful living, and time with her 3 sons and 5 grandchildren. Aging gracefully, she believes, isn't about fighting time, but accepting it with open hands and self-respect. She treasures simple joys, tending her garden, reading stories, and losing herself in her grandchildren's laughter. Her advocacy has only grown stronger. When her youngest son, Sam, came out, Sally's understanding of love deepened, fueling her passionate support for LGBTQ+ and women's rights. Even after a 2005 osteoporosis diagnosis, an unwelcome reminder of time, she channeled it into action, raising awareness for early screening and bone health. She faces health challenges with patience, adapting her routines and encouraging others to live fully, not just survive. In 2018, Sally released her memoir, In Pieces, a gift to her younger self. It's a testament to everything she's survived: abandonment, heartbreak, illness, and Hollywood's relentless scrutiny. Now, evenings are spent watching Pacific sunsets, sometimes with tea, sometimes with a grandchild snuggled close. The applause is distant. Her pride is found in her children and the life she's built on her own terms. Sally's true legacy isn't just 2 Oscars or decades of acclaim. It's the honesty, strength, and compassion she's offered to anyone who's ever felt invisible or unworthy. She became a voice for the silenced and a presence of hope for generations. Sally Field didn't bend to Hollywood's rules. She changed the game, proving beauty and strength live in authenticity and truth. So if her journey has sparked something within, let it serve as a reminder. Pain can become power, and beauty can rise from every broken piece. If Sally's story moved you, share your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe for more stories that celebrate the ache and triumph of the human spirit. There is always more worth remembering.